So filtration, sanitation, and then the third part is the part that typically blows the customer away, which is the water balance, okay? And, to try and make it as simple as possible, there's three parts to that. Number one, calcium. So typically water has calcium in it, which for a hot tub at the right level is a good thing. Okay, if you put soft water in the hot tub, if you have a water softener at home and you fill it with soft water, not only is the water aggressive because the water is missing a mineral it typically has, so it becomes aggressive looking for it, but it bubbles and soaks easily. So you'll find that you're foamy and you're bubbly and it's not nice. So most times out of the tap it's good. If you draw it from a well, sometimes it's high. Don't worry about it. You have to have calcium. Pull out the prevent too. So the hot tub has an electric heater which likes to attract calcium to build up on it. So as part of your initial maintenance or treatment and part of your weekly treatment, you're putting this product in to hold the calcium in suspension so it doesn't stick to the heater. So calcium is a good thing. It makes the water clear. It makes the water nice to be in for a hot tub or pool. You need to have a minimum amount. Sometimes it's low when we fresh fill, so we do have a calcium product that brings it up. If you didn't, it's not the end of the world. You'll find it foams more and you'll find that, it's not as clear. So we do have a product to bring it up. It doesn't come typically with it does not come with the starter kit because it's not that often you have to bring it up. Typically it's high. There's nothing you can do to take it out. You just make sure you keep it in suspension so it doesn't coat the heater. So calcium's simple to understand, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then the next part is your pH, which is, high pH is basic or scaling, and low pH is acidic or it's damaging, right? So you want your pH to be neutral, just like the shampoos and the lotions. They're saying it's pH neutral because pH neutral is not acidic. It's not basic. Basic or scaling.
Yes.
pH neutral is good for a pool, right?
Yes.
It doesn't scale it up. It doesn't damage the hot tub. Okay, that's pretty simple to understand. And then the third one is the total alkalinity, which is a bit tough to understand, but to make it as easy as possible, the table.
It's the table
That what?
that balances out your pH. Your pH will naturally
It sits on the table.
on the table. So if your alkalinity is in the correct range, then you shouldn't have to play with your pH that much.
Yeah. So the total alkalinity, it's on the test strips. When it's in the right range, there's not a lot of acidity. There's not a lot of scaling. It kind of just sits neutral, and it's the best place to be. And then the pH sits on that. So if your alkalinity is off and you try and adjust your pH is just going to revert back to whatever the table is, which is the alkalinity. So you always adjust the alkalinity first. And then, if you need to, you can do some fine tweaking with the pH. Most often you'll find you don't have to touch the pH much if the alkalinity is correct. And that's the part there that most people find the hardest to wrap their minds around,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Yeah. So when you fill from town or city water, you're going to find that the pH and the alkalinity is near perfect. And the reason is that the town balances it because they don't want to damage the municipal plumbing. That's the reason. So it's normally pretty perfect, right?
Makes sense.
If you draw from a well, quite often you're going to have high total alkalinity, most often. And you're most often going to have high pH. So you'll have to use a pH down product to bring that down. And once you have it down, unless you add source water that's high in alkalinity or pH, it typically stays where you balanced it, right? So you've got calcium, which is simple. You've got total alkalinity. You have test strips for that. And that one's really important. If you don't deal with your total alkalinity, Steve Lamrock will come in Grey County, okay? And you will be changing parts and components and whatnot because they'll prematurely, they'll wear out quicker than they should because the water is either acidic or it's full scaling and it clogging things. So the total alkalinity is the critical one. It's the table the pH sits on. Make some fine tunes on the pH. Like, don't obsess with it. Like, don't be out there every day with a test strip checking the pH. Get your total alkalinity done properly once a week. Make any fine adjustments on your pH and you'll be in good shape.